I'm Alan, and you call me. I'm at Dr. Yuan. You call me Alan. I'm a urologist, and I'm also the vice chief at my urology department at National Taiwan University Hospital, Union Branch. And today I'm happy to be here to share my experiences of my daily use of Cloud. And actually, my daily work, I'm a surgeon. I'm very busy, and so I also run part of my department. But actually, I like to be an AI builder. I try to build my website, try to do all the data analysis by myself, and I'm almost interested in to do the web scraping. I do text mining from the social media and try to find something interesting from the government meeting minutes and try to gain some insights for some regulation policies. And in 2026, I think we move on to the multi-agent system. So now I'm deeply into how to use the open cloud and how to try to do something with harness engineering. And also, I have done some medical research at my hospital. I try to use the AI to do the research automation, try to set up one pipeline from the study design to the design and to the draft and to submission. And so now I try to, also I'm in my hospital, I'm a teacher, I'm a tutor. I try to teach my urology, oncology, and robotic surgery. But now I try to teach my medical student and my medical residents how to use the AI into our clinical workflow. I think every one of you are the specialist in different kinds of fields. So I think maybe it's helpful.
And
so,
this is informal. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. And we will later on get more hands-on as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So since 2023, is that time I was finishing my PhD program. So at that time, the GPT had exploded. So I was wondering if it's so powerful. So we tried to test them. We tried to compare GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini with our human medical experts. And the result was very surprising. And I was surprised because GPT can reach to nearly 90% of experts level. So we published the result and tried to do our clinical decision support system by ourselves. And at that time, I realized that AI is not just a tool. It can help us to grow up and try to make us more efficient. So this is my AI tool journey. I tried to subscribe ChatGPT Pro since 2024, and also Gemini. And I also tried to use Cursor for AI code editor, or maybe you have used anti-gravity. And I also use Perplexity for AI search engine, and also use Notebook LM for document analysis and gathering and to gain some insights. And I think 2025 is quite amazing because we found Cloud Code, which is agent systems. The agent system means that you just not to talk to the robot, the chatbot. You could use the agent to execute some workflow, or even you can call him to make you a delivery. It's just not to talk. So in my daily time, I think we waste a lot of trivial things on try to do the literature search, data cleaning, and to bake in some statistician to do the data analysis. I think all of you have the pain points. If you can do the data analysis by yourself, you can save lots of time. And so you can only spend 15% of your time to do something creative like a research design or clinical judgment. So some of you, or maybe a lot of people say, I know AI, but it's quite different. Maybe you can use a ChatGPT or Gemini very, very smoothly, but I think ChatGPT is just like a chat box. You input some text and get some text out, and you feel you are very smart. But it will forget after each conversation, and it can execute one task at a time. And it can't even touch your files. But if you are using an AI agent, it means that it's a large language model equipped with some tools like writing codes, executing a bash commands, and it has memory. The more you use, the powerful it is. And also now we move on to try to do some autonomous actions. When I speak here, my AI agents work there. So after the speech, we can grab something and can harvest something. So what is Claude? It's developed by Anthropic in 2025. It's an AI coding agent, and that is in your terminal. Of course, now it has several versions like Claude Desktop and Claude Cowork. I think everyone could choose which version they like. And it's not just a checkbox, it takes actions. For example, you can read files, it can write codes, execute the bash commands and run scripts, and also install some apps for yourself. And it can also deploy the apps or deploy all something to the websites. So all you need is to try to communicate with the AI agent with your natural language, either by Mandarin or English or anything. For example, you can tell the Claude, say, analyze my patient data and build a risk calculator app. Of course, maybe you ask, how do I know their logics? It's not just we human experts need to check. But once you are familiar with this kind of workflow, you will gradually trust the work they did. For example, I tried to collaborate with my colleagues. She's a female urologist. We tried to build one machine learning model to predict the female breast outlet obstruction. And all the machine learning model were designed by the AI, and we tried to deploy it into the cloud by the AI itself. And it usually takes months to deploy and to ask the statistician or to ask the engineer to do all the jobs. But now we can do it by ourselves. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to complete all the jobs, and we can submit the paper. And this is the automated research pipeline. Maybe some of you have heard about that. Maybe just last month, Andrew Kapasi, he released one small project. He could do the machine learning iteratively at the night 100 times. And in the morning, you can just pick up which one you like. And I think it's the power of the AI agent. You just give him idea. He will design all the strategies. Maybe something are very immature. Maybe something are not very good. But eventually, it could boost your productivity. And also, I think maybe some of you have heard about systemic review. In college now, we try to do, when we are going to do the systemic review, for example, for a KCNG5 and the autonomous cortisol secretion topic, we need to find all the papers from PubMed, MBase, and Cochrane, hundreds and 12,000 articles. And we need to screen them by human. But with the AI assistant, you can save lots of times, maybe even 80%. So it can do them. You can do them semi-automatically or autonomously.
Yeah, just to add on this, I just share my personal experience. Recently, I worked together with other two authors, wrote a review article about AI in oncology drug development. So we went through basically around 200 articles with AI tools come out. It's like 2 weeks to finish the matter. Usually it takes like several weeks or several months to basically review all the review articles. With the AI tools like a Gemini 3, little LMs, we'll discuss more later on. So you could get all these hands-on quickly. But the bottom line is that you should not trust them 100%. Roughly what I found is around maybe 70% of literature are correct, and 20% will be actually made by the AI. So you have to one by one check all this reference, make sure the conclusion is correct, the citation is correct. This part you have to carefully review. Yeah.
Okay, so this is for academic area. And something I think is very fun is because I'm a surgeon, but I can do lots of things that I haven't imagined before. As you know, I run a small business in Middletown. Amy is my wife, and I run Taiwan Way. And this is a very small business. We even can afford to hire an engineer to build up the website or to do the marketing or to do the data analysis. So I try to build it by myself. And I created the website by AI and tried to incorporate Uber Eats and try to do the pickup. And also I deploy all of my items on site. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting because you just spend several hours try to remember and to try to know the core concept of how to build a website. Of course, if I want to run the website for a long run, I need to hire some engineer. But at this time, I cannot afford that price. Okay. I also do some product management, and after the releasing of called computer use, I use this to sourcing my ingredients from Walmart and we automatically. I think it's quite interesting, but it's just a kind of experimental test. Try to use the AI to build a production e-commerce site from a doctor's hands. I think it's quite interesting. Yeah. And so I encourage all of you try to deploy and try to use AI in every workflow in your specialty, either from research or from my clinical specialty or from daily life. I think the question is not if you use AI, it's when you start. I think we need to use this to catch up because my dream is try to infiltrate AI into different kind of industries. And so maybe later on I'll try to show you some live demo or you could ask some questions or you could try to give me some topic. We can demo how to use the AI agent system. And so I think it's just like a paradigm shift. For example, I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon. As a medical student, my teacher told me to do the open surgery. It means you need to cut into the abdomen to excise the organ by your hands. If you do not use this method, it's not safe. But when I'm in my medical residence, I was trained to do the robotic surgery. I also teach my students that you still need to have the open surgery method, but it's not safe. But since decades ago, in the United States, lots of robotic surgeons, they even don't know how to do the open surgery, but they are confident doing robotic surgery. I think it's a kind of paradigm shift. Maybe somebody will criticize the coding problem or it's not safe, but I think you just need to move on and try to adopt this kind of a mindset. I think that's why I engage in AI very seriously and very tough. So I think how to start, maybe any one of you could have an account either to subscribe to Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini. I think pick one task in your daily work, which one is most painful, and write a prompt or try to assign a task to that. And if you like to use the Claude, I think why I choose Claude is because I don't want to learn anything how to manipulate, how to operate the software. I just want to communicate with the AI in my natural daily language. I have no time to learn any kinds of apps. So I think Claude Code, the interface, just try like to chat with them and it will give you a result. I think it's quite amazing. So just need to be curious and try to find something fun. I think quite interesting. So I think we can lock our potential. Maybe some of you have tried to coding or have other experiences at your PhD or other specialty. But that's our logic training. You have your domain knowledge. That's the AI era we need. We don't need like to do beautiful programming or beautiful coding. You just try to find your pain points and try to use AI to incorporate into your workflow. I think you will boost your productivity very quick because we are trained to be a doctor. We are trained to be a teacher. We are trained to be an engineer. So you can use that kind of logics and that kind of philosophy to do all this job using the tool. It will, of course, it has some limitations, but you could use them, try to use the AI native thinking process to conquer that. I think this is the final summary I will give you. To use the AI to become a better doctor, to boost your learning and to do more research, or maybe you can do some AI startup. That's my final conclusion for this small talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Maybe you give instruction the Claude installation of this, right, step by step. But before, could you raise your hand? Have you ever used Claude for your already tried? Raise your hand. Gemini, Notebook LM, ChatGPT.
Okay.
For Claude, how many hours you work on this daily?
Probably at least 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, Gemini
Yeah.
3.
Um,
I said 3 hours. How many 3 hours, 4 hours? Okay, that's great.
Yeah. I think maybe most of you are experienced users, but sometimes I need to take care of the beginners. So I will start off from the basic, from the start. So when you're using the terminal, don't be afraid. Just type something or communicate with them. So I will show it. So we try to move to the folder we have. I created last night and try to show you something. And if you are using a Claude or if you are using a Gemini, you know the skills. We can wrap them up and to combine into a workflow. So for data research, maybe we can use the demo one. It can find something for you automatically. So you can do this parallel job at the other panel. Sometimes I will open maybe 2 to 6 panels. That's the Boris he suggested, which is quite more efficient. But I think you should try to use 1 or 2 panel first, because the context switching will burn out your brain. It's quite exhausted. If you have the experience, I know that. I also spend maybe 5 to 6 hours after my job every day. So maybe we can try to use this for try to demo skill 2. Okay, that is wrong. And someone here, he said he want to make a children's story. At that time,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I built this one.
Just half an hour before the lectures, the janitor, this is her dream, right? She wants to write the Taylor for children's, and Alan just typed some, go ahead. Let's
Yeah,
fun.
only 5 to 10 minutes. It can give some idea. Maybe it's not right, it's not totally right, but it's just give you some preliminary data. I think the AI is give us to create a prototype very quick. So you could use this, and it's possible. It's a disposable code. So you can, maybe we can move on to
Alan, could you maybe, since most of the audience here, they not use Cloud, could we help them, since most of them bring the computer, we can help them, okay, how to install the Cloud, then maybe a very ABC, entry level. After this seminar, they can continue play on this as well.
If you are going to install Cloud, you could go to the Anthropic website, right, and find the Cloud.
Okay, everybody, go to the Cloud website. Let's try type you on the computer if we did not install yet.
Oh, I have 2 subscribe. Oh, sorry. Maybe I can use Amy's. Yeah. I subscribe one Max account for me, and I try to introduce Cloud to my wife. He's not an engineer. He's a lawyer. He learns the law field, and also he loves it. She loves it. And then she also subscribed for the Max account. It's quite amazing, right? So, yeah. So you can download the Cloud.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, okay, to log in the Cloud account, right? Let's say help you to install first.
I think they released the Cloud desktop version.
Yeah, that way even better. I like it.
Yeah.
the browser version, cloud version actually, because you should see the chat, cloud coworker, or code. It's all three
You can
together, so
download this for
Yeah.
your computer, yeah.
Click download, yeah.
And I think it's just like a commitment. When you are using the cloud, you do the subscription package. I think I forced me to use them fully. You can see the usage is run out of all the space. So I say yes. Amy is a very good student. He tried also his tokens.
Yeah.
Burn out almost her token. Yeah,
I
right.
always use it up as well. I have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
upgrade to another level. Then use from Gemini to cloud, then to other platforms.
How
So,
many
yeah.
tokens do you get free?
I use the $200 subscription
maximum,
coverage.
yeah.
Yeah, maximum.
Right. That's the
A
maximum.
month, right?
I spend nearly 500 a month for our family. Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Is it okay for in-story to make sure that before we move to the next step?
Can we use app or?
Yes, they also released the app version, and also they have a very good feature like a cloud remote, and you can use the dispatch. You can use your phone to connect to the cloud desktop and to ask cloud to do all the things. Yeah, but however, if you want to do the heavy works or something very important, you should still need use the desktop version or your CLI version. Yeah.
Right. I used actually, I'm more like a Gemini 3, so I saw the iPhone, the phone apps. So when I'm working, talk to them, say, hey, something, help me I'm working on some project, right, to form my thoughts, more on details, to continue back and forth to discuss as well. So it's actually, you don't need to sit in front of a computer, you can do a lot of things, yeah.
So this is my desktop version. Maybe I can.
And could you give instruction the chat, code,
Okay.
code, what are the three difference, function is completely different, yeah.
A chat is just like a chat box, and you use in a web interface. You can chat with the cloud, and it gives some answer. I think, but most of people using cloud call, they won't use the chat because they like to use a coworker. The coworker can you can give the cloud some permission in one project. Maybe it can handle all of the files in the folder, maybe at my desktop or my documents. For example, you can set a permission because a lot of people are concerned about the safety. So you could use the cloud to give the cloud some permission, always allow for this folder, and you can ask him to try to list my documents, which are too large. Maybe you want to try to clean up your computer, yeah, or try to find something that you want. This is the code work that it could do. Of course, it has a lot of features. It can schedule the tasks. It can do all the things. Or if you give the cloud permission to check the Gmail, it could pull all the Gmails from the website, and you can summarize all the Gmails. For example, I try to use a code work to pull all the Gmails for the accounting statements and try to reorganize all the statements. You will try to download all the statements and try to sorting them and try to do all the calculation on yourself. Yeah. So this is the code work that it does.
So for the chat part, it's similar to ChatGPT. You ask a question, give you answer. You ask a question, give you answer. It's back and forth. Cloud Coworker is behind the scenes, right? Maybe Alan, you can show the skill part, right? That's very critical, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the cloud code work, and the code is a kind of a desktop interface. You can use just like to chat with the cloud. And I always set the bypass permission because I think it's quite convenient, but you should be very careful. If you are new to use the cloud code, you could use the ask permission or ask accept edits, because I have if you are trying to do this further, I suggest all of you to subscribe another GitHub account for backup for every version control. I think it's quite interesting. And this is the, yeah. So this is the desktop. You can use the, and it's a good function, good feature to use the plain mode. If you don't know anything, you try to know something, you can discuss with the AI agent and try to delineate or to clarify something like that. So somebody asked me how to become a real estate broker.
She's already.
Yeah. So we can try to discuss.
Yeah.
So you can try to discuss with Claude and try to use the plain mode, and it will do all the things and ask you some questions. And anytime you could stop the Claude and then to call him, 请继续做这件事情. Or you can also use the voice mode. I think it's quite efficient. If you are going to committed to use the AI, you should use the voice, use your language to communicate, just not typing, because typing is too slow. Because you are limited to share more information due to your slow typing. If you can speak very quickly, you can give him more context. I think context is very important. Just like a man-to-man communication, I think everyone who is specialized in AI agent or AI coding, he must be a good negotiator or communication, because he needs to describe and try to clarify anything very clearly. It's not the dumbness of the AI, it's the you are dumb. I think you are not communicating very clearly, right? So just do not, New York State, do not love the AI because it depends on your ability. It's just like an amplifier. If your ability is 1, it can amplify to hundreds. If your ability is 10, it can amplify thousands, yeah. But it could also amplify your drawbacks or your weakness. Because you cannot use this recklessly, or you should always be responsible for all the product or all the delivery you get. So if we do this web search, I install a file crawl for better quality, and of course it's equipped with the default web search. You can see this. And so anyone have any?
Yeah, for those who are installing, raise any questions. Go ahead, Sean.
So Alan, for example, when you optimize your workflow for your Taiwan Way restaurant,
Yeah.
So are you like putting additional feedback in a plan mode, or how do you, or what kind of information you will feed into the system in order to let it optimize?
Okay, I can give you this question to my AI agent. According to my memories and sessions, how do I optimize my Taiwan Way running, right? So okay, that's it. Never mind. If you cannot spell it right, just let it go. You can figure it out. And the most important part is the cloud code, and the AI agent has memories. So it can fetch the memories you have set. And the more you use, the more the powerful it is. You can say that it try to search the memory of Taiwan Way. And you can look at the workflow and look at the information it did. It's trying to gain all the context, right? Even you forget, you can search it on your health, yeah.
Yeah, add on this, because I use a lot of Gemini 3s, right? So the cloud code actually automatically link whatever I searched, all the projects I had done through Gemini 3, because everybody, the thinking process, logic, or interesting area is different, right? So they will, based upon all your prior interactions, automatically forming that. You can tell them sometimes, ignore what that part, then also clarify this one, think about it as entry level, who are interesting AIs, we want to build the course for the program, or is a more advanced level who has some experience. The goal is for the AI certificate. So we have some minimal requirement, then automatically will come up different programs. It's again is if you ask Cloud Code elemental school questions, they give elemental school question answer. If you ask graduate school questions, they will give you graduate school answer. And also think about logically, you don't want to ask a graduate school question immediately. You start with the maybe college, right? The build up foundations. Okay, for example, if you want to say what is the current landscape for elementary school education, then introduce the Elon Musk's their school, new school. Then introduce the Texas Alpha School. Then you say, okay, then introduce our Northern Academy of the Arts or Feitian College, our mission at the school. So basically give the clear instruction level conversations to say, we want to use AI tools to follow our current Feitian College mission or any school mission, how to use the AI tools, revise current our model or curriculum or build some program. Then this way you can see that stepwise efforts give the answer, hey, that's exactly you want. So that's something you back and forth learning all this, and you figure out, hey, this is way exactly what you want. Or can go back, hey, this part I don't want, I don't think, align what they propose and revise the strategy, you'll see different here.
I think you dig out my business secret, all the budget and all the costs. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can chart. I think the most important part is if you are using other AI agent, either using anti-gravity or cursor, try to install a memory database. Try to give him memory and try to optimize that. And of course, I can show you how to optimize Cloud Code or your daily life. Maybe you can code. Try to list all the things I have done in the past week in Middletown. Yeah, I have been here for maybe 1 week.
Yeah.
So
Job if
it will
you-
find out all of your memory and the talking session and trying to optimize. Maybe you optimize your token, optimize your workflows, and if it can give you some suggestion. So you are self-improving. You are self-improving, right? So this is how to optimize and improve yourselves. Yes, it's a positive feedback.
Another question for both of you, actually. So I collaborate with a couple of researchers. They're using some NCIE data to do some systematic inflammatory immune system connection with cancers. And so I got an initial draft, right? So because they review so many papers, so how do you cross-check, more effectively, or are you using additional AI tool to check some of the validities in the initial draft of the research?
Alan, want to share your thoughts first?
I think I have tried this several times. And initially, I think you could use I read one skill. You call PubMed API and all the file scroller scraping web page, and it can do the initial search. And of course, if you are using an AI agent, you should need to call agent to write down all the intermediate. All the products, all the waste they produced. And then you can verify or check retrospectively. You should always verify that. Of course, you can also use a red teams like another agent to audit and to validate the workflow. So I will not only use the cloud, I also subscribe Codex, OpenAI GPT. I use the GPT to criticize the Cloud Code product. And I think they hate them itself. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. So different kinds of models are trained with different kind of styles. So I think your question is very good. You could use another agent or use the different policies, try to criticize the results or try to cross-validate. And I also designed one skill just like Elon Musk's first principle skill. He will criticize from the start. Because the large language models are obedient because he will not try to do all the things you want. But if someone asks me, so you need to use the first principle to adjust them, to criticize initially, not just move too far. Yeah.
Are there any particular checkbox or other tools that are particularly good for healthcare data?
Yeah, so I'm happy to share my experience. I like the Google Notebook LM. You know, maybe everybody just type Notebook LM, you will get the link. For the AI is what you feed, make sure get as accurate as possible, correct information, right? There's kind of an older term, garbage in, garbage out. If you feed it the tools with the wrong information, you will get a completely wrong conclusion. So it's very important to make sure the reference, so the paper is correct. Yeah, if you go to the Notebook LM, is the beauty of the Notebook LM is connect to all the web search, PubMed, all this database. As also you know, Google, they have Google Scholar. So if you put the keywords for your project, even define the reference from 2002 to that's today, right? So sometimes you want to really focus on the new articles, you could say from 2020 to 2025. You define this very carefully, then maybe come out of 100 related reference. What I suggest is make sure, check each one carefully, make sure it makes sense. It happens sometimes. So this step is very important. If we use the Notebook LM, you will get all this right information. Then Notebook LM help you write a summary of the product. Then you go to the Gemini or go to Claude Code, further write a review article, generate figures, or put it combined together. Actually, Gemini 3 could help you, okay, rather this review articles use Nature Medicine format. So everything will follow the Nature Medicine review article format, or everything reference, because you're feeding the right reference, I feel more comfortable later on, actually more efficient when I review the final article. Of course, then do a lot of fine tuning. I go to each section, actually, hey, this does not make sense, right? You can continuously revise each section, so make sure. The bottom line is that these are tools. You already have your own knowledge, your own sense in this field, then to come out of your own review articles. This part is very critical, yeah. Any question, comments?
So how easily can you publish the review paper right now?
It's
I'm
this part.
to how do we, to judge it.
Yeah, that's this part. Yeah, that's why it's the draft. You can use AI too, but again, come out your own language too. There's actually.
Yeah, have you tried get some publication?
Yes, one article in the publishing right now process. So for the real research, that's different. Okay, that's even some journal using AI to check whether this is the article from AI tools. So it's a different story. Yeah, but for the review article, but meta analysis is different. Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you some
Go
example.
ahead,
For the research, I think maybe let me find. This is my talk at my department. Maybe it's by Mandarin. I think lots of works are tedious tasks, like data cleaning and preliminary literature research. And I have tried this. All of this could be done by AI agent. For example, AI literature research and screening, and data cleaning, and even statistic coding can be done exactly by the AI. But you should write the SAP, the statistic protocol first. And all the draft could be written by AI, and including the submission format. If you have these materials, you can transform to different kinds of format for fitting for any kinds of publisher. I think we human and we expert need to be focusing on study design and how to interpret the results. This is the most important because, as I mentioned before, this is the first principle. If you do not design a study right, all the things are wrong. So I have tried this. All the things, even the IRB could be, and the regulation could be aided and assisted by the agent. For example, for the machine learning submission, I try to design the two-stage machine learning and then do a pipeline to do this and do all the data analysis and writing a draft, maybe just in 1 week. But it was rejected. Yeah, because all the experts will be critical. But I think it's quite interesting experiment. And also, I try to use this PHI and MRI prostate cancer prediction. This is automatic machine model iteration. All the pipeline can be done maybe in 1 week, from the idea to the submission ready paper. Yeah, it's very quick, but I think the quality is not very good. But so we need to set up the checkpoint. For example, how accurate your research and how solid of your study design, and how accuracy of your results, and how do you interpret the results. So I think that's the checkpoint where human experts should intervene. Yeah.
So when they are critical, right, they give you comments, right? So do you think you can address the comments and get it published?
Yeah, I think unfortunately I cannot go to the second round for the peer review. It's just rejected by the desktop. I think it's nothing. It's okay because maybe it's not fitting for the journal. But I think, of course, before your submission, you could also ask the AI to give you some probability how successful this manuscript will be. I think it's quite common because now all the experts, they are using AI to review your paper. Something you need to check them because I'm also a peer reviewer. I will use the AI agent to review all of my manuscripts before and all others. If I found something inconsistency, I will just reject it. Yeah.
I could give because I'm also the JITSI editor. So something very interesting. If the paper no any grammar error, okay, it means something you already checked. But again, just you could sort of kind of because even for the person first language English, right? You could sometimes have some grammar errors. If you already no any grammar error, no any sort of kind of major mistake with this one. Okay, just think about it. So we do have when we had editor meetings, double check all this. But I also use AI tools. Put it, okay, this is the new manuscript, put it the Gemini 3. Hey, did you see any major kind of comments for this manuscript? Help you to, okay, this is something when I reviewed by myself, I think, okay, this is something into the data, maybe the consistency or some, interpretations. Mm-hmm. I will go back, carefully look at this. I'm not rely on completely on the AI tools, but at least save my time, go back, look at the initial articles, make sure you give the right comments. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my personal peer review workflow. I have different kinds of review for the methodology, for the validity, and for the clinical interpretation all at the same time. And one original paper, I can review it maybe in 10 minutes. But I need to revise and try to find which is too critical or too, yeah. So it's quite interesting.
Go ahead, yeah.
I was wondering if you tried any local models on your desktop, like with Olama or something?
Yeah, I have tried to buy one Mac Mini to use for my open call, but I think I cannot afford to buy the GPU because in medical field we are focusing on patient privacy, and all the privacy is the most important. So I think maybe the next direction of my research, I will try to use the Edge AI, like the local deployment. I think maybe in the future is the kind of direction. But at the meantime, right now, I think we can only use the Claude or other SOTA model to try to expand our usage. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, the reason is because he works in Merck, where privacy is important.
Yeah.
Versus you're doing research where it doesn't matter in certain cases, right? But your restaurant maybe
Very soon is okay, but if
Yeah.
we are very concerned in the hospital, so even our paper we should only use the simulated data, you know. So when you are focusing on researching all the medical papers, nobody use the commercial models because the IRB deny it. Yeah, all the IRB deny to use the SOTA model or any commercial model to do all the medical research. Only very excellent college like Stanford or UCLA something, they have the connection to persuade IRB. But even in NTU hospital, we cannot use the Claude model to do all the medical research. Yeah.
Add on this one, so for my daily MOOC job, we have company kind of validate the platforms. I use a company approved AI tools running all this on my company computer. So then for my hobby or any research, as Alan and I, we had a lot of discussion using purely public information, right? There's no conflict interest, no any issues. So I installed, as I mentioned, I ordered the Mac New, right? So then you can run this on your own computer, no any issues. Keep this, you may have your daily job, but don't kind of interfere, make sure keep it separately. Yeah.
I think that's our pivot, and that's because we are very flexible, because we are very small, so we can deploy try to do different kinds of things. Yeah, because large company have their limitation. Of course, large hospital, large company, they restrict everything. Yeah, because of legal problem or anything else. Yeah.
So for those of you who installed Claude, any question, comments? We will help you to address common real questions. Any? Go ahead.
With your workflow loops, I was wondering, have you tried doing any adversarial AI review? So that's using maybe a different provider or a different model to actually review the output of another AI?
Yeah. I think I will use the anti-gravity for Gemini. I think Gemini 3.1 is quite good, but the quota is very low. So every output if it's I take it seriously, I will always review it, either by the Cloud Code red teams or other agent teams, and I will also call Codex or Gemini to review it again. Always they could find some problems, but some minor or some major. Yeah.
Yeah, for the next seminar, we'll more focus on the Gemini 3 because I saw a lot of the school faculty, teachers, right? You prepare your class presentations. We will give you hands-on. Let's say I will pull out textbooks using notable LM. Let's say for the textbook come out 20 lectures, then use this the notable LM notes, go to the Gemini 3, make 20 class presentation or whatever computing is to help you to hands-on, so particularly go through the notable LM, go to the Gemini 3, because Gemini 3 you can do a lot of, you can make the pictures, make a PowerPoint slides or videos, and in this way help you to, to how to prepare your, the daily class. Then for the college student, we can also help you put a textbook you are studying this semester over there, also help you to, hey, using this to get what's the main point, right? What you learn from class, help you to go through all this and make the video for yourself, or just the scripts, right? Help you to remember all this key knowledge here.
Yeah, I think for students and college, maybe teachers, or for the intermediate users, I think anti-gravity or cursor is more suitable for, or notebook and for the students, because $20 each month is affordable. Not everyone could afford $100 or $200 per month, because you need to be very committed to do that. So maybe in the future, I have an idea, maybe we could find some funding to try to sponsor our students to do all the things. But the students also to be very committed to burn out all of the tokens each week. We will check that. Once you can do that, you have that commitment, I think the student could improve very much. Just like me, I just burn out all of the token pools. I use it 4 to 5 hours. every day. Yeah.
Yeah, same as mine. Yeah, I have to actually, maybe January, the token is, then February I cannot, it's not, I have
Yeah.
to upgrade myself. So.
Yeah.
Any questions when you saw this? Claudia, good? Let's do the other way around. Do you have something in your mind you want to, use AI tools to, then Alan could give a demo, live demo here as well.
Do you use this for your email? Is that too much email?
I think it's quite risky to write the email because it's outbound and try to communicate with someone. But I will use
No, filter out the junk emails.
Spam,
Spam emails. And I do that also.
this is the built-in feature of a Gmail. I think they have provided this, but of course you could use the Cloud Code Cowork to pull down over your Gmail and try to manipulate or try to reorganize. Even the financial statement, I use the automatic workflow to reorganize all the statements. Yeah.
Tutani,
Oh,
go ahead. I know you have
let
lots,
me
but go
ask
ahead. Yeah.
a practical question. Someone asked me, what is the total cost for a Medicare patient with chronic diseases yearly? He means last year or the year before. Is there any way, if I do this project by myself, I need to access a claim database, and I need to spend a few months to do the analysis. Is the AI can help?
Yes, maybe we
find
can try. Yeah, yeah.
At least the mean and the standard deviation of the total cost for a Medicare patient.
Spend annually.
Yeah.
Probably in the news.
What type of
You can search from the news, maybe the data is in the news.
Okay, let's try. You want to specify particular chronic disease? Probably, yeah.
I can
be
ask
broad-
some.
Can be broad. That any
Okay.
patient, a Medicare beneficiary with chronic
Yeah.
disease, not
It is-
just one.
Yeah, age
Okay,
about
maybe
65,
have a
yeah,
small
about-
test.
About 65, we can do that way, yeah.
To
And
do this analysis, we needed to at least a few months to.
Exactly, yeah.
okay,
access the
maybe they give me a try.
It's
And
coming here, let's see.
maybe we could use, because we have limited time, we can use agent team to, let me open the effort to max, right? And then to use agent team.
So this is agent.
Yeah, the highest one level.
Maximize the result. In 10 minutes, okay. And you can use the agent teams to spawn maybe 4 to 5 sub-agents at the same time and to accelerate the workflow. However, the spending of token is also very high. But you can burn some tokens to accelerate the workflow. That's right.
How much is the token now?
It depends on your usage. I think the Cloud Code Pro is not enough. You need to spend 100. Yeah, but when I introduce the Cloud Code to my medical resident, they of course they cannot afford it. But someone he is very committed to this, and he say, wow, it's quite amazing. You even don't need to subscribe any kind of computer apps. You can do this all of things for you.
Sure, in the future, we'll ask Carlos, how many tokens you use monthly? That's
Yeah.
So get a sense, right, how you catch up on this right now, yeah.
Well, everybody else is asking other questions. I do have one question.
Okay,
Are you
okay.
two related?
Hmm?
Are you two?
We are from Yuan.
Oh, we're not related. Yeah, we're not
One
related.
generation ago.
Previous relationship, right?
So you're asking what?
So, Alan, my question is, can you use the agentic AI to revise your paper?
Yeah,
Oh, you can?
yeah.
So I assume the paper you submitted has been maximized using an agentic AI?
Yeah, we can use that. I can show you the paper review process workflow. Open one, okay.
Why the Alan put out for my review articles end up with I got a lot of feedback from my IT department colleagues feedback, then got the VP the lawyer because so let's say if you have some language say AI could really made a new medicine, then lawyer hold on. You still need human beings to write. Otherwise, if they come back, why you get this patent, right? Because you use AI, not a human being involved. So as you can see, when you finalize the review articles, ask the people from the different backgrounds. They can share different perspectives, right? So that's very important. So from education perspective, if you say, oh, purely based on AI, no, that's not true, right? Because you train the AI model with regular base, you cannot say this is purely based upon something. Be careful as well. Otherwise, later on, let's say if our Feiqian College come out a brilliant project, we want to patent, right? Then patent office come back and say, hey, you use a solar based on AI, you don't have any Feiqian College involved. So all this language is very kind of, be carefully, yeah. Sorry, Alan, go back to you. Yeah.
Okay, I forget. I have launched this agent's workflow maybe 5 minutes ago. So
Okay.
when you are going, this is my workflow. So I use the first principle to criticize the base of the foundation of a paper. And also, I have one agent to criticize the construct validity and the originality. It will search all the PubMed or all the web and try to find if there is salami slicing or something. And also, it will try to do the methodology review and the clinical interpretation. And all of the agent will give a fully comprehensive and summarize all the reports. Of course, it can apply to my own manuscripts is also as well. Yeah, and then you can say it has something, yeah.
So any like a management company that uses AI for evaluation of performance, like Joe would love to have some software that says who generates the most income. I will have a bonus for him, right?
Yeah.
Or who should I fire? No, I'm just trying to figure out which company is doing that. Like for example, for your clinic, as a human, you know who is doing good, who is doing bad.
But I think we should find all the public data. Actually, I have searched all the information in Middletown in my local database, either from the government minutes, meeting minutes, and all the, because NMC is a non-profit institution, so all the financial data they should publish to the IRS. So I can get all of this information.
No, it's a management tool.
Management tool.
Can you do something?
Jonathan, this is a great question. So in the last just 6 months, OpenAI versus Anthropic. Anthropic, Dario's point with his sister is the security, right? Because a lot of OpenAI do everything. When the reason Dario and his sister left the OpenAI because they feel this is great too, but they want to make sure the security, right? So that's why Claude is built upon all the security systems. A lot of bigger company now collaborate with Anthropic. You can look at the search now. Actually, we can search quickly graph, right? Like what's the difference? Just OpenAI and the Anthropic. The revenue actually Anthropic beats OpenAI now. OpenAI mainly income is through the individual subscriptions, versus Anthropic is mainly bigger company. Let's say think about it. Chase Bank, right? So how I can put my customer information work with you. So that's the same rationale. So a lot of big companies now work with Anthropic because they secure this part. There's a lot of honestly, I don't know the details, but at least from the, no, go ahead, right? Sure, right? This is a lot of, sure, your company may be clear, yeah. Or whatever your thoughts, yeah, as OpenAI versus Anthropic, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, our company, I work in Deutsche Bank. and they don't allow OpenAI.
Yeah,
first of all.
that makes
They
sense.
do allow Gemini.
Exactly.
Right? So there's different understandings of Claude. So Claude has not fully been approved, but it's coming, exactly as he's saying, because of all the security that could be built in. But they are more comfortable with some sort of from a governance perspective, the idea of having models locally. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where the partnership with Google that we have ensures that Gemini models are available, at least.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now. But in terms of individual effort, like for research, yeah, we have a separate laptop, as you said, which allows us access to whatever, like all
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
That's great. And actually also with all this AI, arrow evolutions, congratulations for the college student. AI tools actually will shorten your entry level to maybe more senior level. So let's say for the medical to graduate, right, you have a resident training to attend it takes 5 years. Now, with the AI tools, could be shortened quickly. So in the middle part, it will be gradually replaced by AI. So for example, if you go into, let's say, in the past, you needed more 5 years experience, right? From junior level positions, a lot of AI tools will replace you. So for the college student, with now AI tools, you can, when you get a more hands-on training of AIs, you, within a couple months, you will beat the who are on that job for 3 or 5 years, period. Because AI to help you streamline out this process. When you walk out after a couple months of trainings, you have extensive experience as a 5 years on this on duty training the staffs. So that's the advantage for for all these young fellows.
Yeah.
Right, and go ahead, feel free to share your
Yeah, I share my experiences. I also teach my medical students, especially postgraduate students. Maybe they are just coming to the hospital maybe for 1 year. And I ask him to use the Notebook M or Gemini to search the latest clinical trials. And we could try to debate and try to share information. I think it's quite amazing because they have the same knowledge as you have. But the only you have is your clinical experiences. Try to how to communicate with the patients, how to do the hands-on works. So I encourage my students do more hands-on work, because I think the surgeon may not be replaced by AI now, but I think in the future it depends. But if you are white collar, your work is to do office-based works. I think you should be very try to learn more skills, because the AI will eventually replace you. Because according to the Anthropic latest report, they say the graduate, the market says nearly 20% graduates they cannot find the jobs in the past 2 years, because all the jobs were replaced by the AI. And by our experience, I can do lots of things. For example, in the past, I need my medical resident to collect all the data. I need them to ask the biostatistician to do all the coding. Now I can do it by myself. So how can the medical resident do what? They can do nothing. They cannot join the team. They can't even join a team to do all the medical research. I think it's quite risky. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I presented that report a lot at the last time the lecture. So we'll share later on. By the way, if you're interested, feel free to leave your contact to Janet. Yeah, so she will have signal teams, share a lot of AI related information. For the ethics that February reviews, basically my memory is that any job related with mathematics or even legal, likely this job will be replaced by AI. So whatever comprehensive filing, because you can go follow the process, with high chance will be replaced by AI.
For the entry level, yeah, for entry level.
Yeah.
How do you think about professors?
So this is a good question, right? Because if you want to collect any historical knowledge data, AI will help you. But then back to the Alice's point, as a surgeon, right, or as a doctor, how you vision, the future development, that's your thing. How to predict the future, how to create the guidance one, right? That's another thing. Therefore, the DeepMind Google is actually how say the as a computer engineering versus artistic, right? Looks like artistic will be lead the future because they're more creative, they're more thinking about it to address the question, more logical, right? Not engineering anymore. 我们中国人讲文科和理工的 right， 很多文科的在 guiding a lot of AI development right now. It's fascinating. That's actually our Feitian College, right? Or NAA focus on the creative right, arts. All this could be maybe later on translated into
And we're talking about AI professors here now. We're professors. We have arts here, right?
Yeah.
It can be top, AI professors created here, and then it can become a top university.
Okay. So Ella, back to you. So are you already have to address the Chinese question or let's say?
Maybe just come. Maybe still wait.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Chu Zhang asked the question about the Medicare,
average
Medicaid expense.
Medicaid.
Yeah. Right. This one usually takes 10 people several months of work. Now with a couple,
But maybe you can check the resource they found. Maybe you can check this.
Wow.
Could do the official CMS official data, KFF, Commonwealth Fund, Rand, Peterson, Health Affairs, JAMA, NEJM, and maybe if you are very experienced in this field, maybe you can find a direction if it is correct, or maybe you can steer the agent to do another research pathway. Yeah.
Yeah, the most important thing isn't actually the output. It's actually reading what the agent did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the cloud work. Yeah.
And then each of those agents that you see up above with the green dot on it,
Yeah.
you actually go in and see what it did separately, right?
Yeah.
So all of those are doing work, separate work, and we're bringing it together. Your review should actually be what all of those individual agents did, and make sure that their sources and their reasoning's correct. But then it kind of did all that for you, like weeks of work in a few minutes.
Right.
But you still have to look at it.
Of course, yes.
So it's quite interesting to look at our agent working. Yeah, and you will spend much of time to look at what it does.
Did it tell you which database or which sources they are gathering?
Yes, but you should specify. Maybe you should specify initially, and also you should always ask the AI agent to record all of their resources and all of their references, and just to validate, because lots of hallucination will exist at somewhere. Yeah.
And what about how do you initially pre-train your agents? For example, like what Daniel said, you need to have your paper reviewed by your legal team, right? So I assign agent here as a legal person, right? But how do I pre-train the legal in order to give this agent enough pre-training to understand your legal in the biomedical field, for example? How do you do that?
That's a good question. I think you can train got some landmark related document, say follow this landmark document, then AI will automatically apply this. At least you will see the bigger kind of refrain all this, revise accordingly.
But you
That's why a
didn't
different
teach
way.
how to generate agents for you, right? No.
Yes.
You just like how to use this, but you didn't.
Oh, yeah, this is my slides presented last year. I think it's a very. I try to find a slide for the final conclusion. I think this is published from NEJM, which is a very famous high impact factor journal in medicine. We are all experts, but when we finish our training, we can only reach the plateau of our experts. But with the AI assistant, we can reach higher than we have ever expected before. But of course, you can do your side projects, just like I'm running my Taiwan way. Just I'm trying to do other skills. I think it's quite amazing for all of you, because I encourage everyone could find their pain points, or just like Sean said before, how to train, because you know how to train your AI because you know all your domain knowledge. That is not trained during for initially. That a big large language model they haven't trained it with this the context. It's hidden in your mind. You just need to find it out and then set it to the standard workflow. and then you can be automatically executed. And also, for my example, I will try to get all the possible background knowledge. For example, I like to do the web scraping, either from the Google or from the file crawling or scraping, and also to I expand my scraping to government regulation and even to their meeting minutes, and try to do the sentimental analysis, try to find how they think, why they eject, why they delay or tabling your proposal. And then you retrain the model. Of course, the Anthropic, they have released one plugin that is used for the low plugin. And they will, if you give the Anthropic the model with this plugin and all the information, it will give you some suggestion. Yeah.
As you can see from these figures, in the past, right, all this learning productions is kind of linear. Now with AI, it's exponential. It's completely, as Dario at his recent interview, he basically said, in the past, one person, you put 100 effort, right, work on some project. Now with the AI tools, you use just a personal 5% efforts, 20 times, already expanded, exponentially increase your productivities as well. So you can use AI tool for your learning, use AI tools to improve your daily assignment job, or using AI tools, maybe back to Janet, right? The interesting novel or tale for the children, something you never want to touch, right? Maybe open your mind. Why not? Because using this tool help you to open the new area if you're interested.
I was just going on Sean's question. I think it would be really helpful for everyone if you were able to show just how you configured one of your agents, because you're not actually doing any AI model training. What you're doing is writing agent descriptions, right? And then I think that would be useful for everyone here to see, because
Yeah, I think the rule number one is to try to install the memory plugins, even for your anti-gravity or cursor. I think they have the same architecture. Now we have MCP server, we have the skills, all the things are standardized. So you need to install the memory plugins, and then try to use it and try to talk with your AI, and then just use it. And then after 1 week, or you can try to ask him to find out all the memories and try to optimize the workflow. And if he finds something which is consistent and repeatedly, you can ask the AI to summarize and wrap the workflow into a skill. And then you try to use the skill and then refine the skill. And then you will have your own skill. I think lots of skill, we have a lot of skill on the GitHub, but they have some security issue, safety issue. And I think you could use this architecture. And Cloud Code is just like Apple in the iPhone. Yeah, it had a stable version, and sometimes I use it without any frictions. But if you are comfortable with the anti-gravity, you could also find your skills and your MCP servers that you like. Yeah.
I follow up question. I think that's a great question from my guessing many of the people here. So your assumption is, I've heard about the AI tools, but not familiar with how to construct an agent.
Yeah.
So if you can go step by step, for example, step 1, step 2. Am I interviewing?
Oh yeah. So
Next time we
Yeah,
can
I think
build
that would be really
the lectures about this one, how to build up.
Because we need to drill into
So that's why actually I will give a quick advertise. Generally, you want to mention about the entry level, right? We also go ahead. Yeah. So we will open so more entry level AI, and also we also have advanced certificate levels work together.
We actually started to organize a workshop for the title is AI for Everyone. We plan to start today, but somehow we didn't get enough students
Yeah.
signing
A
up.
lot of students.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, very few signed up.
Mhm.
So we decided to postpone it till May. Yeah, that would be really hands-on and teach everyone how to start from the very beginning.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks, Alan,
Thank
for
you,
the
Alan.
wonderful
Thanks so much.
lecture.
Thank you.